Wrestling fanatic, this weekend is your weekend. WrestleMania 40, a two-night event airing on Peacock, which is part of our NBC family.
For those who do not know, WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl of wrestling. And there are a lot of fans out there, including myself and a few others in the back. But also, I dare you to find someone who's a bigger fan than our next guest. Watch.
We're not I can't believe it's big. I can't believe it's big. I can't believe it's big.
Joining us now on set, Alexis Leatherman, a WWE fanatic, if you couldn't tell. She's a video creator and does live reaction videos on social media like the one you just saw.
That is so awesome. Lex, thank you for being here.
Thanks for asking me.
No, this is the least we can do. We're like, okay, how can we do this story? We know that the big event is happening this weekend. For those who don't know, let's back up a little bit. What is WrestleMania? What is that for those who are not the average WWE fan?
WrestleMania is the Super Bowl of professional wrestling. It's the thing that everybody wants to get to. It's the thing that everyone is excited for. All of professional wrestling leads up to that moment. It's the biggest moment.
How long have you been a wrestling fan?
I started watching when I was a kid. I'm 31. I'm a child of the Attitude Era, the peak of The Rock, Stone Cold. So since around then.
It's funny you say that. The Rock, we have something in the back. We have wrestling fans here, and they brought Little Rocky out. So I'm just going to show this camera. But the Attitude Era, for those who don't know, it was the height of wrestling, would you say, right?
For most modern people, yeah. I mean, it's debatable. People have their own opinions, but for most of us, for me,
It was, and The Rock was a part of that era as well. And
now he's making a comeback, right?
Now he's back.
He is back right now, claiming his territory.
It's true. So can we step back again and talk a little bit about the idea of wrestling being fake and it's not real? Just put that, it's a disclaimer that a lot of people like to jump to when you say you're a wrestling fan, right?
It's the first thing they ask. When people find out what I do, they're like, isn't it fake though? It's that fake stuff. And you have to ask, okay, what part are you asking me is fake? Are you asking me if the fact that it's predetermined, that it's a storyline, is it fake? Or are you asking me if it's the actual wrestling moves that are fake? You know, fake is kind of a bad word. It's the F word in the wrestling industry. You don't really use it. But I try to compare it to, you watch movies. Well, the ending of a movie is predetermined, just like the ending of a wrestling match. So what really is the difference? If you're willing to watch a movie, why aren't you willing to watch a wrestling match that has choreography and a storyline and all things like that?
Okay, I like that.
I'm using that excuse going forward. I am using that for sure.
That's really cool.
That's interesting. So that's the difference between, and obviously a lot of it is predetermined or scripted. So you're starting to see a lot of storylines happening right now. That video that we saw a second ago with CM Punk, I was actually there in person.
Oh, were you really?
In Chicago. And this is where I nerd out. Sorry, Lauren, this is it. So I was actually there with a co-worker, and we saw CM Punk come back. CM Punk is a wrestler who was gone for a long time at the WWE and came back in that night. It was so unique. WWE used that video of yours. Did you expect that when you saw it the next night on TV?
No. So I live stream Mondays and Fridays. I watch the stream or the show live. And so I'm watching in real time as Monday Night Raw is airing, and they play this vignette of all of us reacting to that moment happening. So I saw myself on WWE TV the same time that everybody else did, and was like,
oh, that's awesome.
That's me.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
That's really cool. And I mean, you have a ton of followers. Your videos get thousands and thousands, hundreds and thousands of views.
When did that happen? When did it hit? Like you were like, oh, I'm on to something here.
The CM Punk thing, I feel like, was the biggest break for me, but I've been doing this about 4 years now. I started in 2020. I went viral for a completely different reason. I actually was making local Indiana and South Bend content, so I got a lot of followers from around here. And then I veered from that once people found out I was a wrestling fan and started asking me all the questions, and I found that I could build a platform on it.
Good for you.
It's amazing to take advantage of that. Is it all on Instagram? Where is it all at?
I started out just on TikTok, but I have since grown to Instagram, Twitch, which is a live streaming platform, and YouTube. And with all of that, I've been able to pretty much build a second career outside of my already built career as a hairstylist.
Good for you.
You're a local hairstylist too, by the way. So how are you able to balance that? Like, that seems like a hard job.
Actually.
Not very easily, but it's something that I love to do, and so I make it work. But it is a lot. I mean, it's every time that I leave, the salon, I'm going home and I'm working more on things for online. I'm editing videos, I'm live streaming, so it's a full-time gig.
I can't sit here and brag because somebody over here, she acts as if she's not a wrestling fan, but she has pictures.
I do, and I tried.
Stone Cold Steve
poor
Austin.
mom. I've been sending her on a scavenger hunt since this morning to find a photo of me and Stone Cold Steve Austin, and I was maybe 5.
Of all the people to meet, I'm so jealous of that.
We're going to find it one day, and then I'll post it.
We have
But
to.
I mean, even here in Michiana, there are some big names in Michiana when it comes to wrestling too, right? Like locals.
Is that what got you inspired into doing this, or was it just you were just a fan and you wanted other people to be fans like you? How did that all start for you?
It really started just because I don't have any friends that are into professional wrestling. I don't have anyone that watches. I didn't have anyone to talk about it with, and I found that by posting it online, you open yourself up to a whole audience of people that also don't have anyone else to talk about it with. We usually aren't groups of people that go to wrestling shows. It's usually one person that's the weirdo. All my friends are like, oh,
that was me in the morning. That was me in the morning meeting. I'll be transparent with you.
It's completely me. All of my clients are like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite wrestler, or is that like asking, a favorite child?
I have so many. If you ask me my all-time, I always say Stone Cold Steve Austin for sure. But currently, there's people like Cody Rhodes, who's actually main eventing at WrestleMania. There's people like Seth Rollins, who's also, a WWE champion right now. People that are really, modern and kind of trailblazing the rest of the way for the newcomers.
Do you see wrestling, we got to wrap up here, but I got to ask this final question. Do you see wrestling taking a turn because it's announced that they're going to move to Netflix here in the next year and a half or so?
Oh, yeah.
And that means a lot more, you can say a lot more things you can't say on the USA Network or on Fox, right? Or on things like that. Do you see wrestling taking another turn into a new era right now?
I do.
Okay.
I definitely do. I don't want to say we're going to go back to the Attitude Era, but I definitely think that we're going to see something new that a lot more people might be interested in watching if they liked watching The Rock back in the day.
Oh, I love that.
There you go.
Okay, that's cool.
How can people follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram is the only one that's different. It's Wheezy Blonde. Everything else on YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok is just Wheezy Blonde.
Wheezy Blonde.
Gotcha. It's great. Why Wheezy Blonde? Never mind. I don't even want
Because I have asthma.
Okay.
Wheezy.
That's great stuff. All right.
It's PG, I promise.
Lex, thank you for doing it. Thank you so much. That was fun. We'll be right back.